And we're back here at out here 94.6 FM. I'm talking to Linda Power about yoga, and in our little coffee break in between our sessions here, we're having a very interesting dip into the philosophy of yoga, and just wanted to sort of just bring that into our on-air conversation here, because it turns out that yoga's history is a lot older than just Mr. Iyengar's teacher that Linda was talking about before. The schools that yoga is, the schools of practice, if you like, of yoga at the moment find in their most popular forms their roots in teachings only a generation or two ago. But Linda, you're telling me that that yoga goes back a lot further than that, isn't it?
Yes. Yoga's roots are closely linked to Hindu culture. But yoga should be not be misinterpreted as a religion. Although yoga is based on ancient knowledge, it is sort of as relevant today as it ever was. Yoga's not asking you to believing anything in particular. Yoga's saying experience things, and it's not a belief. It sort of penetrates one's own existence, and the aim of yoga is basically to calm, they say, the chaos of conflicting impulses and thoughts. So, yogic science centers the intelligence in the heart and in the head.
That's I'd like to stick on that little phrase here because I find it quite suggestive. Conflicting impulses and what did you say?
So it's the conflicting impulses and thoughts. So it calms the chaos.
Because with that, you could be basically, because I asked you before the question, okay, why has yoga become so popular in the Western world, in our 21st century culture? And that was the answer. And I can see how you're living in a world that's just full of impulse, temptations, impulse, the way marketers hit us with their shopping, the way we're being offered lots of things for our pastime, lots of solutions to our desires, our hopes and aspirations, the way they jump out of television, out of advertisements, and out of even the teaching we receive in school. We're just full of we're living in a world that's filled with temptations to act impulsively. And so I find it quite inspiring to think of yoga as a way of calming that world of temptation.
Oh, definitely. You see, we basically, from when we get up in the morning, we live outside of ourselves. We're reading the newspaper, watching television, going to work, and everything is kind of external around us, whereas yoga takes you into yourself. So you work with your breath, which, calms the mind, relaxes the body. So you become more sensitive to how you're feeling, how the body feels, and where we're holding our tensions, where we're holding our tightness. Because tensions build up in the body throughout the day, just with what we do with our work on our computer, just general things that we do, making beds, cooking dinner. We're, basically on the go all the time. So it's really important throughout the day to have a quiet time, work with your breath, and go deeper into yourself to feel what's happening within the body, within the mind.
And as a philosophy, I find philosophy is to me is about what you believe and how you sort of explain and justify what you believe, whereas a practice is something that you do. So the practice of taking a moment of reflection, to me, that's a good practice, but there's actually some deeper beliefs behind that, isn't there?
Yes, sort of deeper beliefs behind the practice. It depends. I mean, a lot of people use yoga for many different things. You can go as far as you want with yoga. There's actually no end to the practice of yoga. The pool of yoga is so deep that you never ever touch the bottom. I've been practicing yoga for 42 years and I'm still just learning, just a beginner. It's And it's what you want to get out of yoga. You can just be working on your breath, you can be working on your relaxation, you can be working on your posture. There's many different aspects of yoga, or you can go deeper into the philosophy of yoga. It's entirely up to the individual, to the student.
And just to put a bit of a provocative question in here, we're talking about why yoga has become so popular in the Western world, that's full of things that take you outside yourself, as you just said. Has yoga become a quick fix for that?
It's not a quick fix. You've actually got to practice. It helps, definitely. Even one class of yoga, you'll feel totally different. You'll start to feel like you've put something back into yourself. It's extremely good for people who are givers, who give all the time to their family, or nurses, or whatever it is. If you're giving out all the time, it's actually really nice to stop and put something back into yourself. So you start to feel good about yourself. It improves your health, gives you energy, vitality. It's just something that's a really nice thing to do for the individual.
Now, maybe this is where I can give a quick plug for you here, Linda, because if you take this idea to really and do something about it, then be there next Saturday, which is tomorrow, at 10 o'clock. Sorry, 9 o'clock start. Okay. And down at the Trifina Hall, next to the Crossroads, 9 o'clock there, that's all you need to be. You provide mats and everything. We don't actually need anything else, just some clothing that you can stretch in. And take it from there. Isn't that right?
Yes. The best thing is not to eat a heavy breakfast, is to just probably, have something light, an hour or so before the class, and come along. Everybody's welcome. All the yoga students are very friendly. They all make you feel welcome. They all help each other. And it's not something that, everybody is sort of watching everybody else. Everybody's so busy feeling what's happening in the posture themselves. They're so busy, feeling if their legs are straight, if their shoulders are back, and that they don't worry about anybody else in the class. So it's just an individual thing. And we provide mats, blankets, all the things that you need. So you don't need anything, just wear something comfortable.
Well, that's great. Linda Power, thank you very much for talking to us about yoga. And listeners out there, we hope to see you all there tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock down at the Trifina Hall. Thank you.
Thank you.